Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. Sorry I can't be here live, but I hope this will serve as a decent introduction to Darkaynu. And of course, if anybody's interested, feel free to reach out to us by email through our website or any other way. Phone number's on the website as well. My name is Avi Gans, and I'm the director of Yeshivat Darkaynu. Yeshivat Darkaynu was started 16 years ago to answer the call that for a yeshiva program in Israel, a gap year program in Israel for young men with special needs. Our students have a range of abilities as well as diagnosed disabilities, challenges, learning differences. But ultimately, what unites everybody, or what applies to every single one of our students, is that these were students who felt for one reason or another, sometimes because as part of the interview process, and sometimes just for matters of comfort and familiarity or preference, they were choosing a special ed setting. So our group typically ranges between about 10 and 15 students. Students all come to us after their high school program, so students are range in age between 18 and 24 years old. And they come to Israel for the year, where they spend time learning what we call real Torah. That's capital R, capital T, which means that we're discussing mostly halacha, but also some hashkafa, as they apply to us within the community. Our students, for one reason or another, often find themselves somewhat outside of the mainstream. And it's important to us that they become part of that conversation, even if they're not going to necessarily be the rabbis and poskim of the next generation. So it's important to us, for example, to teach our students Hilchos Kashrus, because everybody at this point knows that we don't mix milk and meat. But what do you actually do when you take that dairy spoon and you put it into the fleshig bowl of soup, for example? What are real laws of Shabbos as they apply to adults, not just the kiddie version of things where everything is either muktzah or it's not? So we function alongside of and as part of the Yeshivat Har Etzion campus. Many people know Har Etzion as Gush. In the yeshiva, there are about 300 to 350 Israelis. That includes 2 kollels, as well as about 80 soldiers in active army service. And then there's another 150 Anglos, most of whom, of course, are Americans. And our students represent, like I said, between 10 and 15 of those American students, of the American cohort in Yeshivat Har Etzion. To give you a sense of the day as well as the atmosphere, integration, while wonderful, connotes 2 independent entities being mixed. And the truth is that because of the design of the program, that Darkaynu, while obviously unique, and it's not something that we shy away from, and that's an important thing to point out, our students all know that they are in the special needs program within Yeshivat Har Etzion. However, the integration that takes place is really completely organic. If you were to go into the dining room at any meal, you will definitely see some of the Darkaynu students sitting together on their own table, but you'll also find it difficult to find some of the other ones because they seamlessly integrate themselves at other tables, whether it's because they're sitting with, Ruvain is sitting with his friends from Teaneck, and Shimon is sitting with the boys who like to talk about sports, etc. So that's as far as the integration on campus. We daven 3 times a day with the yeshiva. We have meals 3 times a day with the yeshiva. We have Shabbatot with the yeshiva, trips with the yeshiva, Shabbatonim with the yeshiva, etc. But when it comes to anything that's academic, that takes place in our own self-contained classroom. Our dormitories are mixed, even though our bedrooms are not. So if there are 12 Darkaynu students, for argument's sake, that means we would occupy 8 rooms. There would be 2 rooms for madrichim, 6 rooms, 2 students to a room for the students. But we're in the same dorm building and share the same hallways with other Israelis and Americans, which lends itself again to this, very natural communal setting in terms of integration. In terms of our schedule, so the schedule is a very full and busy yeshiva schedule. The only notable, and it certainly is significant, departure from the norm is our vocational training component. So wake up in the morning is at 6:30, followed by shachris at 7, followed by breakfast and then a class. But then, whereas in a typical yeshiva, students would be going back to the Beis Medrash for first seder, followed by a shir, our students head to the van and they go out to work. Work is a variety of, it's quite diverse. We have more typical jobs like retail or working in a kindergarten or a library, and then we also have some more interesting things. We have a student at a winery. Students have worked on army bases, in a mayor's office, pet stores, or working one-on-one with pet trainers. So it really is diverse. We're open to anything. What's important to us is that the student becomes a contributing and responsible member of the team at work. So they will consistently work at the same job. It's not that they do 1 month here, 1 month there. Jobs are not something that that's for units. If it's working out well, they'll continue with that job for the duration of the year. Jobs start off with a job coach, as well as we have a vocational coordinator, and between the job coach, the student, the vocational coordinator, and the employer, our goal is for that job coach to eventually wean himself off. But at the same time, there's no rules. Most students are done with the job coach by 2 weeks into the work program. Some even 1 week, some 3 weeks, some 3 months. There are no rules, and we're open to anything as long as the job is successful. If there's some issue, and there's a really, we haven't been able to work something out, then that's not a job coach issue. That means that we need to switch jobs, and we're certainly open to doing that as well. When students come back from work, there's lunch, a midday break, 2 classes. There are mainstream chavrusas in Darkaynu, so that every day students are paired with a mainstream chavrusa, and that's consistent as well. They have their Sunday chavrusa, their Monday chavrusa, their Tuesday chavrusa, and a Thursday chavrusa. We have all sorts of extracurricular programming, including, if you noticed, I just skipped Wednesday for chavrusas because students have an adopted family locally where they go to for dinner and a project, and that's a weekly event, which is followed by our weekly night seder. Extracurriculars take place every night. Sunday night is exercise, Monday is cooking, Tuesday night is swimming, Wednesday night is adopted family, as I mentioned, and Thursday night is Avad night, where we have guest speakers every week, and that would be a combination of Divrei Torah, songs, snacks, stories, and that's Thursday night. Shabbatot, again, it's the full Israel experience, so we do have 1 in Shabbos a month, 1 out Shabbos a month, one adopted family Shabbos a month, and 1 Shabbaton per month. There's also a healthy smattering of Tiulim. As I mentioned, we go on all Tiulim with Yeshivat Darkaynu. However, we augment with additional Tiulim of our own, and those are educational and challenging. It's a mixture of hikes and museums and historical locations to really maximize on our time in Eretz Yisrael. If I can end with just 2 quick thoughts, and then I would certainly direct everyone to our website, or invite you to email me directly. The goal of our program is not just to say that, okay, you can also have a year in Israel. That's certainly true. That's the first step into the waters, as it were. But ultimately, the goal of the program is to become not just independent in terms of the skills, but independent in terms of the thinking and the self-esteem. I'm somebody. I'm a mensch. I'm not just the recipient of the kindness of others. We volunteer with chesed opportunities every week on Tuesday morning. We give to others. We have accountability towards our roommates and our madrichim and our jobs, and most importantly, ourselves. Like I said, everyone's welcome to look at our website, www.darkaynu.org.il, and you can just click on Contact Us. You're also more than welcome to email me directly. That's Darkaynu, Darkaynu.y @gmail.com. You can WhatsApp at +972 50722 4229. I look forward to hearing from you.